with a Chinese professor who has been residing in Canada for, I think, most of his life. I think. Do your homework. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is Professor Jang right here. We are breaking down a lecture. We are sitting in front of a lecture tonight, or today, or whatever day it is for you, right? Because, well, that's because I'm trying to, you know, I don't know if you're trying to understand this whole World War III thing going on in your backyard, in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? This is a real life thing that's going on, and I feel like we might just get a better understanding of what's going on with that, sitting in on this lecture, right? And so therefore, I know it's a whole bunch of information, bro, that goes into, you know, this war. It's not like this lecture will not, I don't think it will break shit down from the beginning of the war. So if you're interested in any of that, he does cover a lot of that, right? Predictive History is his channel. Predictive History, Professor Jang, right? Go tap in there if you want to know things from the beginning. I'm just here trying to understand a certain aspect of this World War thing, right? It's not necessarily about, you know what, let me not yap a lot right here. We're here to understand, you know, a little bit more about this, and it is a lecture, so there's like minimal to no yapping that's gonna go on from me at all, right? Y'all are welcome to go crazy in the comments, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, let's see, man. Iran and US war. Let's go in.
Seeing all your value once you dealt with all the dirt, backing up slowly from these diamonds and pearls, quote unquote. Fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. Back to the scene cause it was pride before the fall, and now it's just over.
How's it going? How's it going? Presenting in front of y'all, Game Theory number 9, the US-Iran War. So I believe Game Theory is the series on Professor Jang's channel. I think it's the series, and then, you know, the channel is Predictive History. This guy didn't, he didn't receive so much momentum. I thought I was the only one bumping into Professor Jang, bro. I thought I was the only one doing it. You know what I'm saying? To find out, yo, bro, this guy, like, a whole lot of people are tapping into his material. Very, very informative. He did a whole lot of predicting, you know, deeds, maybe events, maybe behaviors of the parties involved within this global conflict. It's a conflict that affects, you know, the rest of the globe, bro. If you think about it, if you do more homework. Because there's, you know, certain materials, certain commodities that are just like involved, that just like literally, you know, affect the whole world. Like, do your homework, bro. You know what I'm saying? With this whole Iran and US thing. But obviously, you know, I don't think should it be about the specifics in terms of what we concentrate on here? Because, you know, we got to be transformative. We can't just like replicate whatever. You know, and I heard it's not coined a war or a world war or whatever officially. You know what I mean? It's not official, but come on, anybody who has eyes to see can see this whole conflict. It's damn near it is World War like number 3. Like, what are we talking about, right? I don't know. At this point, it's just like, it's predictive. As I told y'all, we are here on Predictive History channel, bro. So it's nothing but speculation so far, but, you know, see what we can take out of this. After all, it is a lecture, and I did say I wanted to do minimal to no yapping. So yeah, let's get into it, man. Get into it. It's good seeing y'all, by the way. Good seeing y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
I hope everyone had a nice break, and welcome back to the end of the world. So as you know, World War III has started. The United States and Israel.
There we go. Let me just say, you know, I'm going off of even the ideas that Professor Jang is about to share right here. So he's coined it the World War III. It is the World War III. Okay, let's go.
Have started to attack Iran. And we are now in the 4th day of this war. And we can expect this war to last for many weeks, possibly also for many years. But I promise you that after this war is done, the world will never be the same again. So what we will do these next few weeks is use game theory and understand and analyze the geopolitical situation.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to teach you the ideas, the theories, the techniques to understand the world around you and make predictions. And we can know if our analysis is correct because all this is happening in real time.
Yes, sir.
And so we can test it against reality. All right?
Right.
So let's go over some basic facts about what's happened so far. So in the early morning of Saturday in Tehran, the Israelis and Americans launched a decapitation strike against the Ayatollah Khamenei, who is the supreme leader of Iran.
The Ayatollah. So the Ayatollah is a title for supreme leader. Supreme leader.
Now, there
Decapitated him, like as in. Okay.
are arguments and disputes about as to what happened. The Americans and Israelis said that they had real intelligence about where the leader was, and so they sent airplanes to just bomb the crap out of the place. They also had a spy who was able to record the body of the dead Ayatollah.
Oh.
And then this was announced. At first, the Iranians denied this, and the Iranians insisted he was still alive. But eventually, state media admitted that he did die in the airstrike. But then what they also said is that the Ayatollah, he's 86 years old, and he chose to die. He could have gone to Moscow, but instead he chose to stay in Tehran and die for his people. But not only that, but he died
So his death was intentional. Some self-sacrificial vibe, right?
along many of his relatives. He died along with his daughter, his son-in-law, his grandchildren. So many of the family died in this assault.
Oh, no.
Also, there's been reporting that he had prostate cancer. Okay, so he was going to die fairly soon
okay.
as well. So what you need to understand first about the war is that even though the Americans and the Israelis claim great success in decapitating the leadership of the Iranians, from the Iranian perspective, this is a
4 days into the thing and already the leadership is like gone. I wonder what else is gonna, is gonna change or transform moving forward. It's crazy.
martyrdom, okay?
Martyrdom, yeah. Martyr, self-sacrifice. Right?
And so the religion of the Iranians is called Shia, Muslim.
Shia
And this is different from Sunni Muslim. So Sunnis are the majority. They're about 9% of all Muslims in the world. The Shia have always been the minority. And as such, they've always been persecuted. So in the Shia...
I heard the Shia ones is the portion of them, right? That like are really radical about Islam, right? And then the Sunni is the one that's kind of secular in a way. That's why it's been, it's been world friendly, right? Before they've been mostly persecuted, so they be the ones like dying for the religion and like, like for the religion's agendas and things like that. Professor, go on, please. My fault.
Faith, the core value, the force that binds everyone together and gives them purpose and meaning in life, that galvanizes them into action, is the idea of martyrdom, which forces jihad. To sacrifice yourself for your religion.
It's jihad. The whole, on GTA, right? Self-explosion thing. Where you get into a crowd, look what? Oh my god. That's jihad. That's called jihad?
Sacrifice yourself for the common good. So think of the death
sacrificial. Okay.
of Khamenei as a sacrifice, a self-sacrifice in order to motivate the Iranians in this war, okay? So that's the first thing you need to understand.
Wait, so it's not the Americans that decapitated him? It was all because of the jihad idea? Martyrdom? Okay, let me let you go on, Professor.
That for the Iranians, this is not a geopolitical war. This is not an economic war. This is not a war of resistance. This is a jihad. Okay? It's a war against the great Satan to avenge their leader. They will fight to the death. All right? That's number one. Number two is this. Also that morning, when the Ayatollah was killed, the Israelis struck a school in the south of Tehran, killing about 150 school children.
Israelis.
These are girls in primary school. And again, there's a lot of debate and argument as to what happened. The Israelis said that, first of all, the school was next to a military base. We were targeting the military base. And second of all, it wasn't us which struck the school. It was.
So what I'm trying to get, is there a portion of Israelis that live in Tehran? Is there a portion of Israelis that live in Tehran? Or did they come from wherever they originate from, right? The Israelis. How do you spell Israelis? Israeli that reside in Tehran. Iran? There are virtually no Israeli citizens living in Iran. The Jewish community in Iran is Iranian. Wait, Jewish community. Not Israeli. Not Israeli. Okay, how... Wait, but then how did the... Then how did they get access to just like... to the school in Tehran? Where is Tehran? Let me see. Where's Tehran? Where is Tehran? Right? Tehran is a city in Isfahan province, Iran. That's what I'm saying. Right? So how did the Israelis get to Tehran?
Was a
Let me hear it.
air defense missile that went off course. Military base. We were targeting primary school.
Let me hear that.
And again, there's a lot of debate and argument as to what happened. The Israelis said that, first of all, the school was next to a military base. We were targeting the military base. And second of all, it wasn't us.
Oh, is it from their Air Force attacks?
Which struck the school. It was a air defense missile that went off course.
Okay, cool.
Okay? And the Iranians insisted no. The Israelis purposefully attacked the school to kill the school children.
Obviously, that's what.
And then you're like, why would the Israelis do that? But then these few years, well, we've seen what they've done in Gaza, in Palestine to the Palestinians. And it's pretty consistent what the Israelis have been doing. All right? So this action against the Israelis, it's meant to show to themselves and the world that we are now all in. Okay?
Oh,
We've made the sacrifice.
Oh, it's their bit. It's their like they're betting in. They're like locking in their decision to be like, yo, we here. It's up. Okay.
We are now committed to this war, to winning this war at all costs. And this action has also provoked the Iranian people to resist with their full might, okay? So I want you to keep this in mind. And again, we don't have complete evidence that it's the Israelis who did this.
Okay.
But given past actions from the Israelis, this is fairly consistent with what they've done.
I hear you.
Okay? So we can assume that this is something the Israelis did. Why they did this, what the purpose is something we will discuss as we move on. Okay? It's very complicated.
Right.
Next, I want to show you this. This is Dubai. And Dubai is considered one of the wealthiest, safest cities in the world.
Yeah, I heard that, you know, the past, like, just recent events have flipped that fact upside down, Professor. The fact that it's the, wealthiest, safest, blah, blah, blahest. Apparently, as of late, it's like, yo, people are just fleeing Dubai. And the only person, yo. I heard that the only person who's like bold enough to remain there is former top G himself, Andrew Tate, right? Ex-top G himself, because apparently Sneeko stole that title. Yeah, but people are just like out of there. I mean,
there are thousands, tens of thousands of Westerners who move to Dubai because it's clean, you don't pay any taxes, you make a lot of money, and there are great restaurants. And this is really the economic model of Dubai. It's one of the Gulf the GCC countries, okay, the Gulf coastal countries. And for the longest time, Dubai had a really good deal because they were under the protection of the American military. So they didn't have to pay for defense. And then they were in the Middle East, which is the oil producing center of the world. And so they focus on aviation, they focus on logistics, they focus on finance, on tourism. They became extremely wealthy, right? I'm not sure if you've taken Emirates, one of the best airlines.
So the fact that all this, that oil activity is happening where they're at, it made people extremely wealthy
in the world. So their airport, Dubai Airport, is the busiest in the world.
For real?
And Dubai, for the longest time, was flourishing under American protection. And Dubai said to the world, listen, we're like Switzerland, we're neutral. We don't want any involvement in any wars. We're here just to take care of our citizens, to make sure everyone has a good time, to make money. And then right after the war started, the Iranians attacked the GCC, okay?
Yeah.
Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, they attacked these places. And these places were like, what's going on? We're neutral, man. We're not involved in this war. And the airport was shut down in Dubai. At one point, the rich people in Dubai were willing to pay about $250,000 US just to get on a plane and get out of there.
Oh my God! Oh no. Because I was about to ask, right? I was about to ask, like, so a whole lot of people must be trapped in as a result, bruh. Right? They messed up the airport. Like, the airport is the central, you know what I'm saying, control system for, like, people to go and come, right? People to exit the country and come in the country. So now if one of the first things that they attack is, right, the airport, is like, imagine the amount of people that are now stuck there. 300K, bro. I'm trying to dip, nigga. Take my. How much you want, nigga? Take 500K, nigga. Take my. I'm trying to leave. Yo, imagine, like, bro, people's backs were against the wall, right? Like, imagine, like, what you would have done in a situation where, like, your back is against the wall. Yeah, the most valuable thing, bro. You're willing to lose all that, man, to go back to safety, bro. You feel me? Yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to just, like, imagine people are going through, because that's all I can do. From where I'm at, that's all I can do. But, like, imagine, right? Just give me a second. I think I'm too. Fuck. Fixing my light. But yeah, damn.
Okay?
Okay.
So, the reality is this. For the longest time, Dubai had a reputation for being safe, and that's why people moved their money there. Guess what, guys? After what the Iranians did, it's dead. Dubai as a city, in the long term, it is dead. Because you're a wealthy Westerner, you're not going to move to a place where it could be attacked anytime by the Iranians.
Yeah.
You might move to Singapore, you might move to Hong Kong, Japan, South America, but you're not moving to Dubai, okay? So the big question for us is, why did the Iranians do this? It was the Israelis and the Americans who attacked you. Why go after the GCC? All right? And not only that, but they're escalating the attacks against the GCC. So this is something that we will look at very closely today. Well, the short answer is because these places, even though they pretend to be neutral, they house the American military.
That's what
they
I'm
allow the Israelis and the Americans to use.
Obviously, there's no way that you are associated with my enemy and you right in front of me. You associated with my enemy. You're the first person I'm gonna start with in terms of, like, you know what I'm saying, my first initial blows towards, like, anything associated with my enemies. Hell yeah, bro. Like, what? Y'all still kicking it with America? Man, come here, get your ass over here. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Damn. Yeah, they're, you know, and they claim to be neutral. Oh, hell nah, bro. You best, man, get your ass over here, bro. You associated with enemy, dog. What are you talking about?
Their airspace to attack Iran from.
Right.
All right? So this is Bahrain. Now, Bahrain is interesting, okay? Because I want you guys to remember this. But Bahrain will probably be one of the major centers of this conflict. Because, first of all, this is the American Fifth Fleet. All right, this is their naval base in the Middle East. And as you can see, the Iranians are attacking it with missiles.
Of course.
And it's being blown up. Bahrain is interesting because it has about 50% or even more, okay, Shia, which is the religion of the Iranians. But the people in charge are the Sunnis. And so, what is...
Oh, and the Shias, the self-sacrificial ones, right? The martyrs. Well, they lean more towards those kind of principles, you know, for their religion and shit like that. Owned by the Sunnis. Said the more secular ones, right? More secular Muslims.
What makes this strike really important from our perspective is, first of all, not only are the Iranians attacking U.S. military assets, not only are they destroying the economies of the GCC, but they're also trying to ignite a religious war.
It's a religious war. So it's at this aspect because I was listening to I was watching who's this guy again, man? Forgetting why am I forgetting it? Sneeko, right? Sneeko was talking about, you know, he was having a debate with Myron. You know, they were like, yo, is this a political or religious war here? You know what I'm saying? I feel like at this aspect, if we breaking it down, you know what I'm saying, considering the fact that it's the Sunnis that be owning that be running that control center, right? Obviously, it's finna have the POV that, yo, it's Shias against Sunnis now, yo. And it's at this aspect where it gets religious. Whereas for the most part, you know what I'm saying, it had that political undertone to it, well, connotation to it, right?
Right? Because you're Shia, you're loyal to the Ayatollah. And if he's dead, then you must, as a religious obligation, now commit jihad against your enemies. And it's no different in other religions where, listen, if you want to kill the Pope, the Catholics would be really angry at you and they would want to kill you, right?
Yeah.
So now you have the Shia who will probably eventually arise, creating a revolution in Bahrain, okay? So I think Bahrain will be the first to fall. Dubai will probably go bankrupt, okay? But in the long term, we can expect the entire GCC area, including Saudi Arabia, to eventually collapse, okay? And so this is something we'll use game theory to understand. All right, let's continue. So we will know how this war develops just based on geography, okay? So this is a map. And this map, even if you don't really know the war, even if you don't know the participants, even if you don't know the weaponry, this map will tell you exactly how this war will progress. All right, so some certain things to keep in mind about this map. This is what we call this area, okay, really small, it's 33 kilometers wide.
All right, look, Professor, my bad, y'all. It's just like, give out for a word from the sponsors and we'll be right back. Y'all know how it goes out here, baby. I'm saying we'll be real cool. I'll try being
So beware the fun cutting, it's volumes of demise. I hear the sound buzzing, so when she said she wanna die, and he sees she ain't bluffing, so he held her to the skies, cries, sour momentum, passive with goodbyes. I'd rather you tell him, but now the truth is I've digressed from all the feelings, so it's forever though, like my mama's